There was just an ease to that decision at that point. And it was just so nice to see you step into it. And I thought, oh God, like my mood just relaxed when you were able just to step into levity. I was really grateful for that.
Generosity in a relationship is that you give, and if you need something in return, you actually need to use your words to get what you need. It needs to be in communication. You just can't be like, I'm gonna give so that, you know.
Exactly. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Interracial Couple Podcast.
Where it's not all black and white. My name is Cera.
And I am Matthew. And here we are in March of 2021. Life is marching on. And
Life is marching on. So
and
true.
One of the things that we'll dive into today is the selflessness of giving in love and really in gratitude for the other. Hafiz has this wonderful quote that we have on our week 10 of the Lover's Journal.
Can you imagine though? Let's just take a pause. It's week 10 of the Lover's Journal.
I can't believe it. You're right. That means we are like 10-ish weeks into the new year because we started this maybe the second week of January, something like that, or the first week in January. So wow.
Yeah.
That is okay. The pause happened.
Okay.
Crazy. Today is actually, on the day we're recording it, is the Ides of March. And Hafiz said, even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the whole sky.
I know. So, you, Mr. Matthew, you should, whenever I do things, or you do things for me, you should never be like, I did it last week for you.
kind of like with making coffee.
Correct.
Today, like, when are you going to make coffee after our afternoon meditation? And it should just be...
Should be like the sun.
It should just be like the sun. There you go.
Give and give.
And I think that's I feel like that is important in a relationship because someone once said to me, you know, you can't each give 50% into a relationship. You each need to give 100%. And, you know, obviously it's more complex than that. And anytime you look to a quote or a saying or a secret to relationships is or whatever, there's always missing stuff.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think there's a nuance to it. But at the same time, when you can really give and when both people can really show up and give in that way, it's just, there's sort of a relaxed freedom. And I think it's also important, like I said, to kind of go back and say, you know what, if ever something feels like it's not quite sitting right, then you are going to say that. But very often I think that when it comes into a challenge in a relationship is that we wait too long. Like, it's been bothering me for a while. You know, I've heard that so many times. This has been bothering me for a while. Well,
a while is a couple months, couple weeks.
Couple years.
When we talk about doing things for the other in the relationship and just being generous, is that when you do without expectation that the other person, and you fully take 100% responsibility that I'm going to do this with no expectation that my partner is going to reciprocate or even do something else for me. It just comes from such a clean place of giving. When you're giving with no expectation. And it's hard to give without expectation because sometimes I'm cleaning the house and I'm just like, okay, you should vacuum. But I don't say you should vacuum. That's one of the example.
You're not saying you should vacuum because I'm folding laundry?
Actually, I sometimes don't even say you should vacuum. I expect you to know that you should vacuum.
And as we know, those types of expectations always work out fantastically in relationships.
I really think those are the small things that ruin relationships. And I have to remind myself when I go through that loop is that, Cera, if you need something to be done, just ask. And don't do something for the house or something for my relationship expecting that you're going to give back. If I choose to do laundry, that's my choice. Yeah, we have agreement on who does what, but I can't do that hoping that you're going to do something else.
Right. There can be an agreement, which is different than an expectation. Hey,
Correct.
Let's have an agreement that you do these things and I do these other things.
Very different.
And I think in our very sort of gender stratified society, there are these expectations of either you bring home the money or you're, on the other hand, responsible for house cleaning or whatever. and to bring those things into question so that it's not an expectation. And then you also have this opportunity sort of to grow into something new also if you want to, you know?
Yeah. Give like the sun. Give with no expectation. Because when you give with expectation, mostly when I have done it, I'm always disappointed, you know, because it doesn't match. The generosity doesn't match.
Right. I read the study once about why certain professions get more tips. And it's the amount of money that people leave in a tips is usually a differential in the difference between how much enjoyment one person having is versus another. So in a restaurant, usually 20% tip, like that's a pretty good tip, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of enjoyment differential between the person sitting there drinking and enjoying their friends and good food, or say like the car detailer, where the person who's getting their car washed is just sitting there reading a book. Not super exciting, right? So the differential is not so big. So, you know, hey, here's $5 or whatever, right? So it's definitely not the same. You're sort of in a relationship in that way. It's like, if you're looking at it that way, like I need to give something in return, how do we begin to negotiate that? And now you're into sort of value, you know, sort of value differentials and stuff that really doesn't. It has a place in the service industry.
It doesn't have a place in the relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think like generosity in a relationship is that you give, and if you need something in return, you actually need to use your words to get what you need. It needs to be in communication. You just can't be like, I'm going to give so that, you know.
Exactly. And so I think that kind of leads really nicely into the Lover's Journal Week 10. It's really bringing some awareness into the gratitude for what we have and also what we can do for the other. So prompt number 1 is list 6 things that your partner did this week that you are grateful for. And so as the selfish one in the relationship, I want to hear what you're grateful for about me.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm going to say something you did this morning. So we had a busy weekend and I am not a morning person and I struggle to wake up in the morning. And you came this morning to bed when I was still in bed and you gave me a kiss. And then I was like, what do you want? Because I was just like, wait, last month we had our morning kiss challenge. And so we kissed every morning, but it was fun, but it was also guided by the journal. So we're no longer doing the monthly challenge. So when you came this morning, you just gave me a kiss and I was like, what do you want? And then you were like, nothing. I'm giving my fiancé a kiss. And you were cute about it, but you actually wanted nothing. And then you came back for the second time. And you kissed me and I didn't ask. I was just like, I'm just going to take this in.
So that's one thing you're grateful for.
Yeah. What are you?
Nice.
What?
You know, just give us the list just so I can shower in it for a minute.
Okay. So another thing that I'm really grateful that you did last week, I think it was on Friday. I really did not want to work out. Like I was just like, I don't want to work out. I just want to eat Cheetos, drink some wine, and not do the whole workout thing. And usually I'm the one who's like, babe, let's work out. But I think you sensed that in me and you were just like, at 4, we're going to go work out. So we've been going to a friend's gym outside. Usually once I get myself to start the working out, I usually enjoy it. But that day, I didn't feel like it. Like, I didn't even want to do it. Like, I was there trying to lift some weight, and I'm just like, I don't want this. And you curated the whole workout, and you just were like, yeah, let's do this. Like, finish that, you know? And usually that's my role. And I loved how you took that role on when I didn't feel like doing it. So, thank you for that.
All right. Excellent. You're welcome, by the way. What are you going to give me for that? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I'm just supposed to never mind.
Okay. Oh, so my other thing, I'm not going in order. So this is my third one, is I've been having digestion problems. And I think my theory is that since we moved back to the US, I'm eating all types of different food that I wasn't used to eating last year when I was in Kenya. And my stomach is acting up. And your dad gave us these minerals, which I have to just say, I don't know if this stuff works or not, but I've been so desperate because my digestion is so terrible and your dad really believes in this stuff. But I suck at taking supplements. Like I took supplements from LA to Kenya and I did not finish the supplements and I brought them back. But with your dad's mineral that he really believes that is gonna cure my digestion problems, is like, you've really been reminding me to take it. Like right after every meal, you just like open up your mouth, you're gonna have this stuff. And it's really cute. Like I appreciate it because not that I can take it seriously and take it, but it just shows a lot of care. So
you're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Those are the only 3 I get?
No.
Okay.
But I just also want to, with that being said, I was just like, I've also, because you've been so generous about remembering for me to take the minerals, it's training me to become also good at giving you the minerals.
Yeah, and it's kind of cute too because it's like in this little squirt bottle thing. So you have to like come over and like open your mouth and squirt it in. So it's also kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing was I'm doing this. I've been doing this therapy. It's a whole year therapy, group therapy. And once a month we meet and there's a lot of things that come up in the therapy. And some days I go and I don't have those aha moments or revelations. But twice I've gone and I've really needed afterwards. It's 4 hours on a weekend on Zoom. And so afterwards, like I kind of need to process 2 of those sessions. Like something that was said really spoke to me and I've needed to process it after the therapy. And you are my partner. And so if I really need to process it, I come to you. Like I just want to talk about it so I can process it. And really this weekend, like you just sat there and listened. And I think I spoke for like 2 hours of you in the car, of you just listening, not giving any input, just really listening to like what I was coming to and what was like my aha moment. And that was really wonderful, just that you took that time to just listen, not offer any advice.
Be willing to be hungry because it was really late.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the parking lot, be willing to let one of the 2 stores close that we were going to go to, right?
Yeah.
And just be there in that moment.
You were just there in that moment. So thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Oh my God, I'm showering you with all this
keep it coming.
Amazing things.
Keep it coming.
What else have I not said? So morning walks. I'm just so grateful that I get to do that. And it's also cute about how much you love the cows and how much you appreciate the cows. That I am having a whole different ways of the way that I look at the cows. You're so excited about the cows.
It's a little silly. I get so excited every time I see the cow, and they're there all the time. But every day we go on a walk, and my breath is taken away by how beautiful the landscape is, and I'm just all of these cows all around. They just make me happy.
Yeah.
Even when they don't make you happy, because if one of them wants to be pet, which is pretty rare, but in the last 8 months, probably 4 or 5 times, one has decided that it really wanted to be pet, and you think that cows are there to graze and not be pet. But the last time,
I'm coming around.
Yeah, you didn't give me a hard time for petting the cow the last time.
I don't think I'm going to appreciate it to the extent where I'm petting the cow, but I'm appreciating your love for cows and I'm appreciating like our morning walks together. So that's that. And then I just want to say business is running our own businesses, and you run your own business and I run my own business, and then we have a business that we run together. Is that sometimes it just can be so hard. And in the last couple months, I have not been excited about my work. And what you have done for me is like, you're really excited about the businesses. Like you're in that place of excitement. And so even though I'm not excited, your excitement make me excited, so.
And I designed packaging.
You designed packaging.
Because I was excited.
Because you're excited. And there are just so many things you've been doing where I'm just like, I don't think I would want to do it on my own, but you've really shown up for us and for the businesses the last couple months, weeks. So, and my excitement is coming back. So I'm joining. But what you didn't do was like, you just didn't match my energy. When I went low, you went high. And I really appreciate that, because I think that part of what makes our relationship great is that we show up for each other when one doesn't feel, you know,
And I think
one
that,
doesn't feel
yeah.
so much like alive, and one needs more. So
Yeah,
I
and I think that's an
that.
important thing in a relationship, is that sort of being okay with that ebb and flow. And I will say, not in this case, in this moment, but it does happen to me sometimes, where if I'm carrying the sort of the weight, whether it's the enthusiasm weight or whether it's, you know, we go through different phases, right? And I know how easy it can get after a fairly short period of time to slip into some type of resentment. Like, I'm carrying all this extra weight. And so I just want to sort of highlight that, because I don't always do that particularly well. But actually how vital that is to be, you know, and it's obviously a balancing act, right? Because sometimes you need to be like, hey, I can't keep carrying all of this. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes it needs to be like, I owe it to you to give you a kick in the butt, because you're not helping you or me or a relationship when you are down in the dumps. So this kind of awareness of, cool, be down in the dumps for a while. Do what you need to do. I'm not going to let it impact me. And then also to say, you know what? I need you to kind of step up, not only for me, but for you. Yeah, just kind of bringing awareness to that balance. And it's not always easy. And I'm really glad I've been able to do it the last couple of weeks. And at the beginning of it, I even mentioned that I'm starting to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I didn't complain about feeling overwhelmed. In fact, I just wanted to plummet, and it was really nice because you didn't take it so much as blame. I mean, a little bit this came up of like, but at the same time, it wasn't blame, and it wasn't even me saying, hey, like, look at me, yay, I'm picking up this other stuff. It was that at this point, I'm feeling like I'm carrying a lot, and and it's starting to make me feel stressed out in the mornings, like I'm waking up with tension in my belly. But not like you should step up to the plate. None of that.
Yeah.
Just I want to express that, because at the same time, I was also kind of excited about saying, you know what, I want to take that as, you know, my place as your partner or who I am in our relationship by stepping into that and being cool with taking on that extra. But it's hard. And so just being able to converse about that was really nice.